Before we even knew the name of the New Orleans terrorist, before we knew his name, his motive, whether he acted alone, how many people he unalived, before we had any of that information, the president-elect, Donald Trump, put the following post up on his Truth Social platform. As soon as that event hit the news, he said, "When I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media. But it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. Our hearts are with all of the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil." Since then, we have learned that this wasn't an immigrant. This isn't somebody that came across the border. This is a born and bred Texan, one of the reddest of red states around. Good old Texas. Born and raised. Dude lived in Houston, served 13 years in the military. He's a born and bred in Texas military veteran. So you would think with the new information at hand that Donald Trump would take that post down. It's still up. Not only is it still up, he's doubled down on it. With the open border policy, the Biden open border policy, I said many times during rallies and elsewhere that radical Islamic terrorism and other forms of violent crime will become so bad in America that it will become hard to even imagine or believe. That time has come, only worse than ever imagined. Joe Biden is the worst president in the history of America, a complete and total disaster. What he and his group of election interfering thugs have done to our country will not soon be forgotten. MAGA. Followed, of course, by Trump was right about everything. When you are incapable of saying, you know what, I was wrong. I jumped the gun on that one, and I was wrong. I thought that was an immigrant, but it wasn't. It was somebody born here in America, radicalized here in America somehow. When you have the inability to say I was wrong, you shouldn't be anywhere near the presidency. You shouldn't be in elected office anywhere. You shouldn't even be on your local village board. And that's the problem we have with this man. He is incapable of saying, I was wrong. If he was capable of saying I was wrong, he would have handled COVID differently. When he said it's just a few people coming in from China and we'll have it down to zero in a matter of a couple of weeks, he was wrong. And when presented with the information to show him he was wrong, he couldn't bring himself to step up to the podium and go, you know what, I was wrong. We're going to reshift, we're going to retool, and we're going to figure out how to take on this crisis. We're going to wrap both our arms around it. We're going to tackle it to the ground. No, he has to lean into what he originally said. Whatever he originally said has to be what he sticks with. He can never say, I was wrong. That is a character flaw, ladies and gentlemen, of alarming proportions. He is incapable. Remember the hurricane map when he said it was going to affect the state it wasn't going to affect? Instead of going, you know what, I had the wrong track. I thought it was going elsewhere. That's on me. My bad. He took a fucking national weather map and drew a line on it with a Sharpie to show the state that he said it was going to be affected, even though it wasn't going to be. That is alarming. What happens when it's something really, 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 really big, like another COVID? Like military movement somewhere, like something that he can't back down on. Then what happens? What becomes of us? Forget all the other shit in that post, right? Crime is at a level. Crime's down. Crime was worse in 2020 than it is now. It's down across almost every fucking sector. All of the data shows that. Doesn't fucking matter. His people will believe whatever he said. But it's the inability to go, I got that one wrong. That's a big fucking problem.